Hello there and welcome, Ivan. Thanks for tuning in to this edition of the news on Canal International, broadcasting live from Douala. Let's set the salvo. Here's Kejan Henry Atembe with the headlines.
It has been calm and serene across Cameroon this March 31 as hundreds of thousands and probably millions of Muslims came out to pray and mark the end of the month of Ramadan. Dates of the event, they pleaded with Allah to accept their month of fasting and grant the country peace and unity. Meanwhile, a damning report by the Court of Auditors has raised serious concerns over the management of energy projects between 2017 and 2021. Despite a massive investment of 690 billion francs CFA, power shortages found guilty of embezzling European Union. A court in Paris also handed Le Pen, who was the front-runner for the next election, a 4-year prison sentence with 2 years suspended to be served under house arrest. Her lawyers say they appealed the verdict. Those Junior.
This is the 6:15 p.m. edition of the news and not the 1 p.m. And tolerance have been echoed across the mosques and other prayer grounds. And of course, the context, and that's this year's presidential election, warrant the messages and the preachings from the imams, as you tell us, Hyacinth Chia.
The different mosques in Yaoundé this Ramadan full to the brim as the Muslim faithfuls converge to celebrate the end of the 30 days fasting, thanking Allah for the strength to pull through the difficult moment. At the Chinga Islamic Complex, the sermon is delivered by Sheikh Abu Mohammed Saleh, capitalizing on peace.
Important message, read by the Imam, which is maintaining peace between Muslim and the other brothers, Cambodian brothers. And we have important event coming, that is the presidential election. We should all, Muslim or non-Muslim, work hard.
Similar message at the Ngosu Mosque, reiterated by Muslim traditional rulers to keep their subjects on track.
Et pendant ce 30 jours, j'ai demandé à tous mes imams de prier pour la paix pour le Cameroun, le vivre ensemble, la paix sociale et surtout la stabilité.
The turnout at the Etude Mosque, massive, with the road completely covered by the faithfuls as they pray and listen to the preaching of Imam Ibrahim. Away from the traditional mosque, others on this special day prayed in open air, like here at the explanade of the Yaoundé General Hospital, with Malum Zakaria officiating the sermon, laying a cap on love, tolerance, and the respect of the 5 pillars of Islam.
Meantime, the governor of the Central Region, Nasiri Paul Bea, has called on the authorities charged with sighting the moon and naming the date for the end of Ramadan to refrain from the chaos and conflict that usually surround the naming of the date. Speaking after Ramadan prayers at the Chinga Islamic Complex in Yaoundé this afternoon, he prescribed respect for the authorities in charge of revealing the date of the end of Ramadan, as well as cautioned Muslims to feast responsibly. He spoke to Hyacinth Chia.
The disorder that was noticed during the information concerning the end of the fasting was brought to the attention of the Minister of Territorial Administration, who had to clarify the situation, and from now henceforth it is only the Commission, the spokesperson of the Commission, who has the right to proclaim the end of the fasting. And so we don't want people to give information which are not correct. And so we want to use this occasion to ask all the Muslim community to continue to work hand in glove with the country, with the nation, with the head of state, and to let peace reign.
And in Douala, hundreds of thousands and possibly millions of Muslims poured out of their homes and gathered at the various prayer points dotted across the city to implore Allah's grace and mercy. They prayed for peace to reign across Cameroon, especially given the context, a politically charged context, as we head up to the elections this year. Cynthia Latte was there and now reports.
After 30 days of fasting, the Muslim community is now celebrating the conclusion of the significant religious observance, the Ramadan feast. This March 31, thousands gathered at the government square in Bonanjo, Douala, expressing gratitude for a peaceful end to the fasting period, during which they prayed for peace throughout the nation. Every year, it is an opportunity to entrust everything to God and to pray for all our brothers, our country, and our community. We are happy today that everything folded well here. The Muslim faithful have been encouraged to maintain the piety they exhibited during Ramadan. There are Muslims who lose their way after Ramadan, changing their attitude. No, they should continue with the religious behavior they practiced during the sacred month. Beyond the active participation of the Muslim faithful and religious authorities, the Ramadan feast also brought together administrative officials who engaged with the community. We want to thank the Imam for providing us with insight about the fasting period. We acknowledge their prayers for Allah to bring peace amid the tensions faced by Cameroonians. Across Douala, Muslims took part in a moment of celebration. At another prayer point in Nilong, Brazzaville, the message of peace resonated with Imam calling for Allah's protection over the three major conflicted regions in the country. Despite celebrations often causing confusion, with two different moon sites and institutions proclaiming varying dates to end the fast, they collectively called for unity. Only the Ministry of Territorial Administration has the authority to make decisions regarding this matter. No other entity can decide on these issues. I believe they have released a communiqué addressing the situation. There is need for unity. As people returned home to continue the feast, they expressed gratitude that the fasting period concluded without any major incident.
And of course, the feast also comes with these dangerous parts. Let's flip the page now and look at how dangerous the celebration could be. We go over back to Yaoundé because a group of young people have organized what some see as reckless motorbike races. We're not sure if they've got permission for this, but Hyacinth Chia is standing by with this development. We're supposed to be listening to Hyacinth Chia, who gives us a picture of the dangerous side of the feast, because in Yaoundé, a group of young people are currently organizing motorbike races, which some describe as reckless and very, very dangerous, despite calls from Governor Nasseri Paul Beya earlier on for the Muslims to celebrate responsibly. Let's get over to Chia Hyacinth. Unfortunately, we might be having Chia a lot later in this edition of the news. Now let's talk some politics, because militants of the Cameroon Renaissance movement regrouped under the Center One Regional Federation have pledged 100% support to their leader Maurice Kamto for this year's presidential election. They made the announcement at the end of a general assembly at the weekend in Yaoundé, as you tell us, Beatrice Ngamo.
The Cameroon Renaissance Movement, CRM Center 1, is gearing up for the October 2025 presidential race. Yesterday, March 30, 2025, the party held a general assembly in Yaoundé. The regional president delivered a moral, uplifting speech to the militants, emphasizing the importance of their support.
Est-ce que c'est le moment de mépriser nos hiérarchies et ignorer la discipline du parti? Non, ce n'est pas le moment. Est-ce que c'est le moment de s'engager à un débat inutile sur la candidature de notre président, étant donné que nous remplissons toutes les conditions? Non, ce n'est pas le moment.
The national president of the party was represented by his second vice, Emmanuel Sim, who addressed the the controversy surrounding Maurice Kamto's candidacy without hesitation. Maurice Kamto will be president in the next election. He will not only be candidate, but he will win.
Le message est simple. Il est le même.
The message is simple. He is the same. Do not succumb to provocation, to distractions. This assembly took place amidst constant warning from the government, particularly the Minister of Territorial Administration, regarding Maurice Kamto's candidacy, following his decision to boycott the February 2020 legislative and municipal elections in Cameroon.
And so the celebration of the end of the holy month of Ramadan comes with its good and, of course, bad sides. And despite calls by the governor of the Central region earlier on in this edition of the news for Muslims to celebrate responsibly, a group of young people in the capital, Yaoundé, have decided to organize what some call reckless motorcycle races. Hyacinth Chia has this update for us.
Barkada Salah and welcome to the Yaoundé central town, where a phenomenon is going on here which is not quite pleasing to the eyes. Of course, it may sound like some sort of entertainment, but it is a very, very dangerous phenomenon ongoing here. The Muslim guys here with motorbikes trying to showcase all type of spectacular ways of riding the bike, and of course, high speeds. We have about 3, 4, 5, 6 people on the same bike and trying to demonstrate here to the before the thousands of people that are here equally enjoying the show. But then the activity, as we indicated, as I earlier indicated, is very, very dangerous. Because you see children as young as 10, 11, 12 trying to demonstrate here on the same motorbikes that we are decrying here, where you can see many standing there and trying to enjoy the spectacular show, which we earlier indicated has a lot of repercussions. It is still 6 p.m. From the look of things. By 7 p.m. the situation may just get worse. And of course, there is need for an intervention to be able to regulate the situation here. If not, the consequences, as we indicated, may be very, very far-reaching. In Ramadan, today the governor of the Central Region warned against such irresponsible ways of celebrating the Ramadan. But then it sounds like it fell on deaf ears. As you can see, the recklessness that is currently ongoing here, which we have indicated may not really have good results at the end. From the Yaoundé Central Town, beside the I Love My Country monument, Hyacinth Chia and Jean Benatani. Barkada Salah.
Thank you, Hyacinth, for bringing us up to speed on the occurrences in Yaoundé. And across Cameroon, power cuts and prolonged blackouts have become a commonplace occurrence. And while the reasons have generally been murky, a fresh report from the Court of Auditors points accusing fingers at lapses in project execution as well as governance issues. The report, which spans the period 2017 to 2021, indicates that the sum of 700 billion CFA francs was spent to fix Cameroon's energy crisis. Gladys Sambondibang has more.
The Court of Auditors has revealed alarming gaps in the execution of energy projects over the past 5 years. According to the report, while billions have been injected into improving electricity access, the impact on the ground remains questionable. The findings highlight disparity in project coordination and budget allocation, with many technical achievements either falling short of expectations or being poorly documented. Analysts argue that weak performance indicators have led to worsening power outages, further straining economic growth.
The distribution is not well done. Even the infrastructure are not there. The equipment for the distribution we don't have. So the dispatching is so ill done in such a way that people at the end of the chain, they don't have any benefit of this production of energy.
One of the most striking revelations in the report is the failure of newly built energy infrastructures to resolve the crisis. Several dams and power plants have been completed, yet electricity shortages persist.
There are structural issues across production, transportation and distribution. In distribution, the system has been overwhelmed since the closure of the center in Ombe, with capacity shortages and insufficient intervention teams, especially in Douala. Transportation also faces frequent disruptions, with recurring maintenance due to lightning, pole incidents and transformer failures. We usually receive messages informing us of these maintenance work.
Governance issues appear to be at the heart of the crisis. Experts say mismanagement and a lack of oversight have contributed to the sector's inefficiencies, with white elephant projects, large, costly and underutilized infrastructure continuing to drain resources without delivering results.
Maybe it is a matter of human resources, because the person appointed as the managers of the institutions are not taking care or are not the right person at the right place.
Persistent outages affecting industries and households highlight the need for accountability and structural reforms to ensure reliable power supply.
So how can artificial intelligence be used in the screening of cervical cancer? Well, that question has been at the crux of deliberations at the 12th International Congress on the Detection and Prevention of the Ailment. It's ongoing in Yaoundé. Beatrice Ngamo now reports that early detection leads to a facilitated treatment.
Cervical cancer is the second cancer in Cameroon, and with particularity being a cancer that can be easily avoided. This because early preventive detection could be more effective as it facilitates treatment. Very important, therefore, for health personnel, the public at large, and women in particular, to be sensitized on measures to easily fight cervical cancer. Doing their test, giant prevention move, and early screening imperative. This 12th International Congress also opportunity
present a lot of advance in terms of artificial intelligence and in terms of method that can promote to fight against cervical cancer.
Work done in synergy with many other organizations, associations and hospitals in the country alongside cooperation, especially of Swiss partners.
This year what is new is that we also have the Federal Polytechnic School of Lausanne. They bring the element of artificial intelligence to this work to improve the screening of cervical cancer.
Integrating artificial intelligence in cervical cancer prevention are points not to overemphasize today.
And as you know, many improvements have been done locally to improve the health of our patients, specifically with regard to the screening or at the early stage of the cervical cancer. So the peculiarity is that now you have many schools that are coming together, especially, as the ambassador said, the École Polytechnique Fédérale de Lausanne and the École Polytechnique of Yaoundé and the Faculty of Medicine and many physicians.
Like all come together, the past like future challenges were under scrutiny, with samples and test results carried in some health facilities.
Meantime, Bamenda Veterans FC of Moulin have won this year's Veteran Footballers Gala. They beat Sports Club Sunday at the Yaoundé Omni Sport Annex Stadium to draw the curtains on the competition that seeks to promote sportsmanship as well as unity, as you tell us at Bonaventure.
Women with innovative projects, women who dream of realizing their ambition.
7 goals to 1 in favor of Barcelona Veteran Club from Bamenda. Players of Melo Sports Club, despite the huge defeat, are rather happy to meet their comrades of Moulin after a long while.
We first of all, we are brothers, and we have brothers who are back in Bamenda, who we know they are facing some irregular circumstances. So we try to bring them over, so we could have this unity match. And if you look inside the field, you heard some people speaking in French.
Created in 2006, the Veteran Solidarity Club has as goals to promote talent, sportsmanship, and harmonious living together.
It's a dream club. We created in 2006 in Bamenda. Back then, we tried to promote talent. So this is what we are still doing. We come together to see the talent that we can support because we love football and we love to see those who have talent and do not have the opportunity to present their talent where they're supposed to be present. So we try to encourage them.
The gala was an occasion to salute the exploits of some international footballers in the likes of Indomitable Lions defender Fai Collins and Che Malone of Simba Sports Club of Tanzania, whose talents were nurtured by the veteran movement.
And beyond Cameroon now, Marine Le Pen has been banned from running for any political office in France for 5 years. A court earlier today found her guilty of embezzling European Union funds. Analysts say the ruling has shattered the far-right figurehead's hopes of winning the French presidency in 2027. The Paris court also handed Le Pen a 4-year prison sentence with 2 years suspended and to be served under house arrest, as well as a 100,000 euro fine. Her party, the National Rally, was also fined 2 million euros. Her lawyers nonetheless say they are preparing an appeal. And that's how we saw it on the 6:15 p.m. installment of the news on Canal International tonight. Thanks for your company. Be with us same time, same place tomorrow, inshallah.